partners. So everything we do in terms of our Ageing Well work in Swansea is with partner organisations, and we coordinate our Ageing Well steering group, which is the most strategic element of of the work. And on that, we have sort of 40 plus organisations sitting on it with us. And for example, we met last week at Swansea Arena. There was 42 individuals present, and there was 27 different organisations present with community groups in that sort of demographic. As our work has sort of expanded rapidly over the last 12 months, we were asked to put a presentation together in terms of how many numbers of people we're seeing, the different activities that we're running, and the different things that we're doing in terms of our Ageing Well work, really. So Rachel Luxton asked me to, if I'd be happy to come along and share our report that we put together for the 2022, so our report for last year. And I think it's important really to say that I came into post in July 2021, so two years ago this week actually, and we started face-to-face engagement with what was the 50 plus network previously, and now is our Ageing Well steering group and our Ageing Well sort of brand in effect in the October of 21. So for last year, I'll go through this, go through the slides. Obviously happy to take questions at the end, if anyone's got any questions, and please just let me know. So I think really within Swansea, before my time, the 50 plus network would meet once a month. Hazel Maguire was part of that, and a number of other individuals, and the group would meet at the Civic Centre. The local authority would be the only organisation around the table, and we've tried to sort of come away from that and build positive relationships by being visible and being out and being easily accessible. So we've done things that people enjoy, or that we can capture people to come in and work with us. And then in terms of us consulting or speaking to people, we've got a ready-made audience. So when I started, I'd say we had about 5 or 6 active members who were the members of what was the 50 plus network. And currently we're most probably seeing between 500 to 600 people a week now through our work. So it's rapidly expanded. And as a result, obviously, there's some other updates I'll give you now in terms of our team and how we're developing and our new office and how that's sort of working. So I won't go through this too much, but basically the model we've used is working with partner organisations, so not just the council in silo, and we're working with them to run weekly engagement sessions every day of the week. And the sort of focus with those has been around helping people to build new connections, helping people to build confidence, and really to run activities and projects that people are actually interested in, so they will engage in with us. And by doing that, we are then allowing ourselves to capture people's voices and listen to what people are saying. I won't go through this slide here, but I'm very much a visual person, and I think sometimes photographs help to capture rather than me sort of saying. And I know we've got someone on the meeting who can't see these, but I'm happy to share or print out and send this to you, so you can have a look at the images I'm showing on the screen now. So the images on the screen at the moment are just some of the sort of activities that we are running with other partners: Action for Elders, the Chinese Association of Wales, creating housing. The sort of list does go on really, in terms of the organisations that are working with us actively in delivering this work. So I'll keep most probably referring to it, but it's not just a council approach. It's not just the council working. It's very much we're a team, even though we're different organisations, and we're all a team and working for the same goals in effect. So the team itself is made up of Julie Gosney, who's our partnership and involvement team manager. It was myself as the Ageing Well coordinator, and 6 months ago we employed an Ageing Well involvement officer. So my role, and the other Reese, because he's also called Reese, who's joined us, our work really is focused on being out in the community, being visible, being on the ground, going out to groups that already exist, developing those links and those relationships, and then obviously establishing new sessions from what community members ask us. And sort of it's all developed really from our weekly social walk and our teas and chats. So very informal. We've gone down the road of very informal mechanisms to engage people and to build our sort of base. Sorry, go on. So just as a snapshot, so for last year, we ran across the year 50 social walks. They run every Thursday morning. We ran 48 cuppa and chat sessions on a Friday, and we ran 44 LGBTQ plus sessions. So across the year last year, we ran 142 face-to-face sessions, of which we've seen 3,500 people across last year on our social walk. We've seen 2,400 on our tea and chat on a Friday, and we've seen 1,100 people at our LGBT tea and chat. So we had 7,000 interactions from three of our standard sessions. We do a lot more, but our sort of 3 standard sessions that we run, which are on a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we had 7,000 interactions across the year, which I think it's important for me at this point to say. Previously, the council would engage on a monthly basis, once a month. So if you look at where it was and how we are now, and where it's going, I think the interactions and the engagement and the visibility, I'm not a sort of percentage person, but it's gone, you know, it's gone quite, it's a different sort of ball game, really. Again, this will focus on here, the different activities that we're running, our social walk. We've been taking people to the council have got a box in the football stadium, so we've taken people to games to help build the confidence, and taking people bowling. So we've got a weekly bowling session that goes now. So very much heavily focused on well-being, and getting people out, helping people to connect. We've also then launched our Ageing Well newsletter, which goes out on a weekly basis. So when I took that over, there was very limited numbers. It had been previously started by my predecessor. So last year we had 1,600 people sign up to our newsletter, which was a 586% increase in sign-ups in 1 year. Going back to February, due to the numbers that we're seeing, we created a WhatsApp group also. We had 160 members when I put this presentation together a few weeks ago. However, we're now at over 200. So just in the WhatsApp group alone, but it's actually allowing us to connect and share information on a much wider scale, a lot easier and a lot quicker. Has anyone got any questions before I carry on? I'm just conscious I'm talking at you and I can't see people's faces, and I'm very much face to face. Can
I ask a question?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. From what I get, do people now prefer then to be in their houses or flats or online than going out and meeting people live? I mean,
I certainly don't think so.
Our
engagement,
good.
Our engagement and being out every day, and I think that's why our numbers have rapidly grown within the last 18 months, and sort of, yeah. And we're seeing, I think what's happened, we've the work's developed, and because we're visible, it's actually encouraging people to come out and speak to us, and people who maybe wouldn't necessarily have engaged with us previously, or wouldn't have got involved in the activities or the sessions that we're running. So we're actually maybe hearing voices or hearing people's thoughts or views who maybe wouldn't sit in a boardroom type setting or formal type setting and say how they feel or say what they think would help improve services or what they think is good. Or do you know what I mean? So I definitely think face-to-face is there.
Good.
I also think our members also obviously work in collaboration with Reece, and they go out and do leaflet drops around the community. So we're trying to target members in the community through all different mediums, through the internet, through messaging, and putting posters up in sort of doctor's surgeries, in bus stations. So we're taking a sort of wide approach to how we try and engage with the community in Swansea.
Can I just say as well, the centre of all of this, as Reece has mentioned, is the difference between having a small committee and not really cooperating too much, council and older people. Now we are working together. And I think the thing is, word of mouth has been a huge thing, because each individual one of us who's involved with Rees, we have a different circle of friends, many of them not using the internet, not doing anything technical. And so it's through word of mouth and our different groups, whether they're knitting groups or Tai Chi groups, or it's word of mouth that has really spread the word. Because I'm like you, I don't really like new technology. So I'm always fighting for the digitally excluded. And this is working here because, as Rachel said, there are so many different formats that we are getting to people. Through local supermarkets, for example, through the local cinema. And each one of us from the group, because we're ordinary older people, we are meeting other people in our daily activities, and we're passing on the information that way as well.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Hazel. Thanks, Rich. Hopefully now this slide's going to go back. Okay,
Rees, Chris has got a question for you.
Go on, Chris.
Hi. I mean, apart from the fact it's extremely impressive, Rachel's mentioned something which I think is vitally important. It's about the face-to-face. On Anglesey, our situation is completely different because it's mainly a rural area. The buses are not very good and so on. So we have relied up until now very much on this technology to help us. But recently, the participation officer for the age-friendly groups has gone out to the villages. So we hold 2 sessions every year for everybody and 6 sessions every quarter in the different villages of Anglesey. That's to encourage that face-to-face interaction, which is going to grow the network. So I think that it doesn't matter where you are, reaching out to people is very important, even though the challenges are very different.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. Yes, so I won't go through all these sort of quotes, but part of what we were asked to do to help sort of, I guess, give internally within the council an idea of the impact the work was having, was to gather people's thoughts, people's quotes. So, again, for those who can see it, this is one of our members who started coming, and I know Ray won't mind me saying she lost her husband. She sort of was at a bit of a loss. The scheme advantages so many older people, she said, providing the opportunity to make new friends and a reason to get out of the house and socialise. The staff were wonderfully supportive and encouraged everyone of all ages and capabilities. It's made such a difference to so many people's lives, and have some of them described as a lifeline. So we've, in effect, I kind of guess we are doing a little bit of early intervention, prevention type stuff as well through the sort of initiatives that we're running, because they are focused around getting people out, helping people to build friendships and confidence and stuff, And then again, there's some photos here. We recently visited the Senedd in Cardiff. The bottom photograph, for those who can see it, is one of our social walks on a Thursday. For example, this morning, we've got our social walks going out this morning. We've got 90 people on it. So there's 90 community members going out on our social walk this morning, and that's staffed there, not by the council alone, but it's by Action for Elders, it's by Caredig, it's by Care and Repair, Chinese and Wales Association. We've got also community volunteers who we've trained up as walking leaders. So between us, we've got a very good partnership group of third sector, public sector, and community volunteers who just want to help and assist because they can see what's going on, Within terms of our sort of LGBTQ+ work, we're working very closely with an organisation in Swansea called the Butterflies. within that relationship, we run weekly sessions on a Wednesday, on a Monday night. Whereas nothing was in place previously, we're now sort of averaging about 30 to 40 people on a Monday and the same on a Wednesday for our LGBTQ plus sessions. Again, a lot of these are quotes, so I can send this on to you so you can see them rather than me sort of read them out. We recently had a visit from the Deputy Minister, Julie Morgan, a few weeks back to come speak to us and see some of the things that we're doing in terms of our outreach and our engagement. So Julie came on a walk with us, and sort of she's quite complimentary of it, in fairness, and said that she could see the impact it was having, but also how it was acting as a catalyst to allow us to build relationships and listening to people's voices and gathering people's thoughts, views, comments, both negative and positive, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, these are just visuals, photographs of us doing some clock cricket, supporting the CADA, Centre for Aging Dementia Research conference, taking people to Big Pit. So we've gone down this sort of road, you know. I was saying earlier on, we've got our regular daily sessions on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we run various pop-up sessions. So our Ageing Well Beach Festival, for example, that we ran last year, which was the community members asked, could we do something around a beach festival? So that's what we've done. We had 650 residents attend, and we had 50 engagement stands from partners. That is actually taking place in a month's time again. And we've had a far bigger buy-in from organisations and partners across Swansea and further afield. You know, we've run information networking events. We've got sessions around cuppa and chats on the COPA Jack, which is the local boat trips that run out to the Swansea Marina, for those who don't know. We've helped to facilitate training with St John's around first aid and defib awareness, working with Heart of Wales Community Rail team to encourage people to get on the rail system, and in fairness, they've helped us to facilitate trips and locations and accommodation. And then we've done some multicultural events with the African Community Centre and the Chinese community as well. Again, these are sort of, we've done Swansea.com stadium visits, Ospreys games through the council's Lord Mayor's box, and cooking workshops with Carenig and the Chinese in Wales Association to help people learn to cook. So we've gone down this sort of engagement route in terms of low level sessions to help people get out and make connections, but then actually it's given us the platform to engage further. So in terms of moving forward, we are expanding our team, so we'll be recruiting another Ageing Well involvement officer imminently. I'm just waiting for it to come back from our HR to go out for advert, so the team will grow by one. We have recently just finalised something called Coast Grants. So internally within Swansea Council, we created a Coast Grant from the Shared Prosperity Fund, which came from the UK government and Welsh government. That fund has gone out to community groups in terms of ageing well, and people who are supporting people 50 and over. And we've had a number of organisations that we have worked with apply into that fund and who have been awarded funding yesterday to work with us to run and help facilitate further sessions within the community. As part of our work as well, we've sort of mentioned it briefly, but we've just launched, not officially yet, but we're sitting in our new sort of Ageing Well office in the heart of the National Waterfront Museum in Swansea Marina. I'm just waiting on the signage to be completed and finished, but this will be our sort of central base of operations, if you want, for us and for partners to operate out of together, to offer drop-in services, information boards. So the office is going to be called the Collaboration Station, and hopefully within the coming weeks. And I'll send the invite out if anyone wants to come to the launch from COPA. You're more than welcome. Come down face to face, have a chat, have some tea and coffee with us, some food, see what we're doing. You're more than welcome. And I think actually Chris mentioned it in terms of rural. We got a long way to go, but rural engagement in terms of our Gower communities is on our agenda. And it was discussed last time I came to a COPA meeting, and it's not something that sort of has slipped off our radar. We're currently working on how we look at a rural outreach engagement vehicle. So that vehicle then would look at how we go out to the rural communities with staff and do drop-in sessions within the rural communities, within the Gower, and link it in with the sort of local community councils and et cetera, et cetera. So that's something that's ongoing in the sort of background. Unfortunately, though, my plan has been sort of slowed down because I'm told there's an 18-month waiting list on a vehicle, so the one I wanted. So, but we're getting there. So if anyone's got any questions, please let us know.
Can I just come in there? With regard to transport, this is crucial in all of your areas, the same as here. And I was in Gower over the weekend and speaking to older people there, and they have got our booklets, very keen to come in, but a lot of them can't get transport. And I think this is such a huge issue with all of the councils, because we've all got rural areas, and I think it's something that we should, I mean, we luckily have got Reece and a team pressing from our side, but there's a lot of transport in Swansea, Damster and so forth, but it strikes me that they are not coordinating. There doesn't seem much talking going on between the different organisations. So just to say, we all totally appreciate that you live in different sort of areas, but transport is vital, I think.
Reece, it looks like Steve's arrived and he wants to talk to you.
Hi, Steve.
Morning, Reece, and your cohort behind you. It's absolutely brilliant to see you. I'd say we really need to build on what you're doing. It for me, this bottom-up approach is exactly the right way, and you're doing your development work in a way that suits the circumstances in Swansea. And there's a real message in all of that for me. I think if we can continue our partnership with everybody in Swansea and continue to learn from you, that would be absolutely brilliant. And if we can have your slides to circulate with the minutes, that would be useful as well.
Yeah,
but,
definitely. I should have also mentioned actually, within our sort of Aging Well journey, it's sort of been it's been picked up internally with the council's disability liaison group. So and they've asked for a very similar model to the disability liaison group. Asked for a similar model to how we are doing the Aging Well work. So as of the 1st of July, my role changed. So I'm no longer the Aging Well coordinator. My role has become the community engagement transformation lead for Swansea Council. So my Aging Well coordinator role has just been backfilled, and then we will be backfilling or recruited for additional Aging Well involvement officers. So the idea being at the moment, it's going to be a bit of a journey, but we will model our disability liaison group on our Aging Well work, and we will link them and combine them as best we can, and obviously using the new office space as that sort of key central location. Something I've discussed with Rachel and Hazel, which I would be keen to do, but obviously it's down to you guys, is for COPA to have a regular slot within our office to do drop-in sessions where we can help the print material, whatever it is really. But I just thought it'd be a good opportunity, and I discussed it with Rachel and with Hazel, and obviously that was something that was going to be sort of brought up this morning, and we wanted to sort of mention to everyone else,
Yeah, that would be excellent, absolutely excellent, Reece. And can't thank you and Rachel and Hazel for setting this up and participating today. I think